glad we aren't staying," she said, biting her lip. "We'll stay on the way back. It'll be interesting." He took off his tie. His eyes felt intensely alive somehow, and he wondered if she ever noticed these slight alterations of mood, of intention. "I like it," he thought. "I like it better than she does. Maybe we'll stay a little after the weekend." On the road to Chefchaouen, they didn't speak. The car rented from Avis Tangier was an old Camry, its brakes soft and its red leather torn. He drove it nervously in his perforated driving gloves, warily avoiding the women in ribbon straw hats who infested the hard shoulder, pushing mules ahead of them with sticks. The sun grew fierce. It was a long road bordered by stones and orange trees, and above it rose the hillside slums, the gimcrack apartment blocks, the antennas that decorate every middle-income city. One couldn't see the beginning or the end of it. There was just the taste of sea. All was dust. He drove on doggedly, determined to get out of the city as fast as possible. The light all day had finally worn his eyes down. The road was reduced to a geometric glare, alive with hostile movements. Animals, children, trucks, broken down 30-year-old Mercedes. The suburbs of Tangier were ruined, but the gardens were still there. And so were the crippled lemon trees and olives, the dogged disillusion and empty factories, the smell of seething young men. The Hotel Salam in Chefchaouen looked over a river called the Wed El Kabir and a gorge. The road on which it stood, Avenue Hassan II, was a steep lane of hotels, for the Marrakesh and the Madrid were just next door, and along it the city walls loomed up, white and monkish. The tour buses were already there. The salon was full of Dutch couples feeding upon mountains of turmeric eggs. The Hennigers were not sure whether to enter the hotel lounge and participate in this buffet orgy, or to stay aloof. The Dutch looked frantic and disturbed, as if they hadn't eaten in days. David wondered if they were given sandwiches on their immense buses. They were faintly disgusting, with their big red faces and their beefy adolescent ruminants grazing around the buffet tables. He was hungry himself. "Let's eat straight away," he said excitedly. "But not here. Perhaps outside, away from the continental wildebeest. I wonder if one can get a drink that isn't Pellegrino citrus." Fortunately, the Salam had its own terrace, and it was not too crowded. They took a table with views and ate their tagine citron with a bottle of cold boulbem. It was wine, at least, and he said a silent thank you to it. "Should you be drinking?" she asked quietly. "Oh, it's just a glass of fly pea. This stuff is fly pea. Look at it." "It's not fly pea. It's 14%. You have to drive another 5 hours." She began to devour the salted olives at their table. David always took these sorts of remarks in his stride, and he settled down. "It'll make it easier. I know it's the lame excuse of every alcoholic, but it will." "I shouldn't let you, stumblebum." "I would anyway. The roads are empty." "What about the trees?" There had been 11 years of this sort of contest. The exact fastidious Jo crossing lances with the bad-tempered David, who always felt that women were out to suppress the peccadilloes that made life half worth living. Why did they do this? Were they envious of life, shimmering away with improvised masculine curiosities and pleasures without their consent? One had to ask the question. You could smile or not. It was up to you. Jo was 10 years younger than him, a mere 41, but